I do believe the Yi Shin, it's just a specific tool that we need to use properly, but it's still sitting at an abysmal rate of 36% win rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if Uish played today,
I
it might
agree.
be higher. It might be higher.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what Yusichin provides is
Power.
map. Power, the map. Hey, Marco, you can take it, it's fine.
Yeah, so what Eastern Shin provides is that objective from the game, right? The thing is, you're so open for these really good objective takes for the sieges, and especially with that utility.
Yep, and speaking of utility, one of the textbook utility heroes in Mobile Legends Bang Bang, they pick up the Estes. Now this leaves Prime and the rest of Key just scratching their heads. Okay, so they're picking a page out of our book. What do we do? How do we shut down this first pick Estes?
It's the Estes, we've seen it so many times, and it's been working so much. We saw it yesterday as well.
It got a handful of significant wins.
Yeah, a lot of crazy wins, and now let's see what they respond with. Actually, I really like this from Cade. You're going up against the Estes. You want to do continuous damage. You don't want to go for those heroes that just one and done, you know? Skill heroes, but look at GX. They want to burst down these squishy members of Cade, picking up the Lilia and some CC for themselves. Right now, I'm really liking their draft.
Yeah, because again, this is what we said about GX. Maybe because you want to focus on the King, then just go hit strong. They have the Estes, they have the Ruby, so there's a lot of sustain over there, especially if the Ruby is going to the EXP lane, where she will be focusing on the Haas Claw, on the Endless Battle, or the War Axe, in fact, as well, having more damage, having more sustain, making sure that Cade, even though they can deal a lot of damage, but if in the early stage of the game they cannot farm, then it's going to be very difficult for them to actually survive the initiation coming in from GX.
Are we seeing a Middle Eastern flavor of the
Oh!
Langar strat? Wait. Okay, all right. This is still something new. This is still something new. And you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Last night's RRQ versus Todak matchup, right? Todak looking like his GX squad. This is what they did, right? They
True.
played an Estes,
Yeah.
they played the Lilia, and then as for...
They're going to bring in a Mia.
The Mia? I would like to see a
Okay,
Mia.
that's a little greedy to ask for that this
Okay.
early on. But yeah, Cade, they're bringing in the Ling. They have the firepower in the form of the Beatrix, and we don't know if this is going to be mid Beatrix yet or
Your
a gold lane
team is
Beatrix. But
banning.
now going to the second phase, it looks like it's gold lane because look, they're protecting her. They're taking out the Brody.
Yeah, I really like that Brody band coming in. Again, Ling is really good, but it can be very, very open to those kind of stuns, the single tap stuns, and now Lolita is still up for grabs
Your
as well for
team
GX
is
Squad.
banning.
The Ruby itself counters this Ling pretty big. Like, this Ling will need very good timing on his abilities.
Yeah, and unlike the fact that GX, they actually ban out the Louis, this kind of shows the kind of composition that they're going for, is that they're probably going to take a book
Your
out of Blacklist
team
as well,
is
playing the
banning.
Ube kind of style. Ultimate Bonding Experience, just go in together, move as 4, move as 5, and make sure that the enemy doesn't get a Luyi that can clump them up together, not only providing a lot of crowd control, but also a lot of damage. I feel like that is a good pick. But from the side of Cade, right now they've heavily banned out the gold lane. What if GX just put Lilia on the gold lane? That's still an option.
Yeah, I really like the side of GX because it's a very good flex, right? You can put the Ruby still in the roaming position, you put the Estes as a support, or you can play Ruby in the XP or even the gold. Lilia, same thing goes for her. She can rotate all across the map, but it is going to be the Jawhead as the final ban. Very interesting, because I would think that in this composition, you would actually like to go face the Jawhead.
Maybe this is just a situation where GX, they're thinking one of their weaknesses is actually moving around the map, moving around the riverside. So maybe a Jawhead could potentially wait in the bush and get a surprise kind of initiation, and maybe that's the thing that they want to avoid.
This might actually be a telegraph from GX. They might be playing a very responsive lineup, a reactive lineup rather, because look, they have the Estes, they have the Ruby. If they picked up the Jawhead, I hear you guys, you're saying maybe they should pick the Jawhead, but we've seen the Jawhead when it's not the aggressor, not so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Not so good indeed, man. Let's see what happens. Again, GX Squad, they need to round out the draft, and
A Kufra
right now,
would be good.
a Kufra would be good, but I think the more essential one right now is they need more physical damage. They need someone to be able to deal that constant physical damage, because look at the composition right now. Sure, Ruby does damage, Lilia too, but no huge threat just yet. They have the sustain, but they don't have the damage. It's not gonna matter if they don't. Cade, look at their composition. A whole lot of damage. The complete opposite. GX rounds it up with the first Kaja pick of the M3 World Championships. And an Alucard going in. That means they want an all-out fight.
Is this what you want, Leo? Is this the surprise that you're looking for?
Yes, I am very entertained. I love it. GX is feeling like they're in their element. I love the smiles all over. How does Cade answer back? There's so many angles of attack that GX can take here. So many ways that they can just pull one, blast them, force out an overextension via the Alucard and the Estes, force out people from the bushes. There's very little vision. That's one thing that they might be missing, vision. But if it's an all-out fight that'll last like 30, 40 seconds, it's GX.
Not just vision, but they're also on a clock. Looking at the side from Cade, they already have a Ling, a Lunox, and a Beatrix.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, Esme will scale very well as well. So
True.
GX, if they just like, you know what, maybe we can take this game slow. No. You're going up against your own win condition. So GX, they're on a clock. And they have to realize they have to end this game fast.
Honestly, now that I look at it, GX will try to go for pickoffs, try to isolate their members, maybe even look for long fights. But even in long fights, you have the Lunox, you have the Esmeralda, the Beatrix. They need to get the early game. I think that is the main thing here. With the Kaja pickup, with that Ruby, and especially that Alucard, you need to snowball. Sure, he has a good late game, but very, very, very easy to catch.
I mean, compared with the Ling, with the Beatrix, even the Esmeralda, the Alucard, optimal play is the early game. Play around the riverside, play around the jungle, try to bully out this Ling, and maybe you have a chance.
Well, let's see.
That being said, again, it was prefaced already for scaling heroes. GX, I mentioned earlier, maybe they want to react, but actually they don't. They do not have time. So was this an outdraft? Was this an outplay in the drafting phase alone by Coach Cabral? Or will GX punish this lineup that's just so hungry for resources on the side of Cade? We're about to find out.
Yeah, the Estes is actually babysitting the Alucard in the jungle. As you can see, going for the heals, helping him out. Something that we have not seen a lot from, but he's already rotating to that top side right after getting the additional heal onto the Alucard. This will mean that, again, Alucard will have a little bit more sustain, a little bit more health to contest for this little Wanderer.
Yep, I'm so impressed because, again, Prime just keeps showing up, keeps proving to us that his hero pool is nigh endless, a bottomless pit of expertise because, yes, he does play the Beatrix here, but up top, that's the signature Lunox, the Luis Nox. Almost every single game in their best of 5 against Red Canids, they tried to ban out the Lunox against Luis, so that's going to be tough up top for Amuni.
Yeah, and Daru already not having a good time in that bottom side, man. He already chunked to a quarter of health in the trades against Takashi. He needs to know, in these early stages, you can't go for those crazy prolonged fights, especially up against an Esmeralda. They can clear faster in that early stage, man. But Dante, he is going to go for the gold buff right now. Takashi just going to be a little bit of a problem, going in for a little bit damage. But look at that, Cade, instantly with the response. They know Dante's there. They might go for it. Dante instantly backs away.
Yeah, right now looking at the map, if I can draw over here, we can definitely see, even though it's only 1 minute 45 seconds into the game, Cade actually controls more of the map. For the side of GX Squad, it's a little bit darker, but from the side of GX Squad, if they're able to get a good engage, then they can start controlling the map again because Cade, they're moving proactively even though they are the one that's playing this scaling comp.
Yep, I have to agree with you. Just to build on that fact, Turtle up already. This whole 4-man rotation from GX Squad, it's going to bite them in the butt very, very soon because of how taxed they are for resources. They're sharing the XP, they're sharing the gold. Yes, they're going to get this Turtle here relatively free, but they're about to lose out on every other part.
Yep, Cade King already going into the purple buff. Let's see what happens here. Finch forced to get away and instant retribution. Amuni couldn't even go for that divine judgment, and he even flickers forward for it. But again, King just way too slick. Very good timing on that Tempest of Blades.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a mechanical mistake over here, and 857 gold difference. Looking at this, Cade, they are super comfortable being the scaling comp, having this kind of advantage. 2 minutes going to 3 minutes into the game, they're looking very good.
Yeah, and the thing is about this composition. Oh, it's going to be Mikey joining in. The snipe's not going to land just yet, as Hisk will be able to get out of that with that flicker. But one thing I do want to note here, Leo, maybe you can elaborate on this, is that Cade, all they need to do is play out their lanes like this. You know, GX Squad with their composition, Ube, they want to be grouped up. Let them be grouped up.
True. It's some variation of the Ube, but it looks like they want to give Amuni a visit.
Oh, Mooney goes over to Divine Judgment, and Zaxby King actually taken very low, but the Tempest of Blades once again, perfect way to do that, man. You let King take the damage and use that invulnerability to get out.
And this is a situation where Lewis is going to get poked out, but should be no problem right now for the side of GX Squad. They have to understand which lane that they have to play to, because if they don't, then Dante over here, he's just going to keep roaming up and down. But if he goes to a lane that he can't kill, it's going to be a lot of time wasted. I would say go towards Amuni's lane, but wait when he actually has that Divine Judgment, just so that you have a confirmed kill, so you can snowball off of that.
Down here in the XP lane, the aforementioned Ruby now gets the Haas Claws. I'm wondering how that's going to help out in his duel against Tekash, because it looks like Tekash is not letting go. He's going to bite down here and maybe open up the map to give King the second turtle. So that being said, Cade's okay with taking 3 up top here. They're okay with this 3v1 because eventually they want to take the shield and then just go take the turret step by step, one by one. It looks like they're also just going to give over the turtle. Look at this.
Yeah, again, what Cade needs to do is just go and... Whoa, the turtle was actually almost stolen away by that lane. But yeah, what they want to do is just play these individual lanes properly. What GX Squad wants to do is force a team fight, but Cade hasn't been giving to him. Fake Mikey, though, goes in very aggressively under that turret. Amuni not trying to capitalize at all. He still has that Divine Judgment. Not quite sure why they didn't go for that engagement.
Right now, Kid, they're actually doing something well, where whenever they're ganking this Kaja, move 3, but and engaged by Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey goes in for the Titan's Revenge. It's going to be the all-out follow-up right now. Divine Judgment onto the wrong target. That's not who you want to target. You get the kill, but is it worth it? It's a tag for the gold laner right now, as King is waiting in the bush, waiting for someone to walk by. Yato will be the one doing that, and that is going to be the retribution used up. Yato forced to flicker away, but Dante, he's going to go for the kills, the snipes. Will it connect? King still able to run away with that Finch Fortress. And in the bottom side, GX Squad picks up a turret, so not that bad in terms of the trades.
Not that bad, yes, but not as clean for Cade. They're actually punishing GX Squad. They're actually punishing these small windows that Cade's opening up. And as you can see, it just was not enough. Almost, but oh, Dante.
Yeah, almost getting that kill with the Flame Retribution, but very good flicker from Louise to get out of that one. But still, though, the thing is, as we can take a look at the items, the 1,000 gold lead is really good. You can see they're putting the goal on the right members right now.
Yeah, looking at the itemization, especially from the side of GX Squad, this is where they should really go very aggressive. Where again, Dante already has the War Axe. Yato on this Lilia has the Enchanted Talisman, so she can do a lot of damage. And look at the top side. Cade is doing the right thing. Every time you want to go engage Akaja, put multiple members. Even if one person is catch, they still have more to go.
Yeah, there you go. Amuni is going to get tunked down, and that is going to be the snipes actually missing all of it, but Louise will be the one picking it up. It's very interesting that Prime didn't get an assist there, but unfortunate.
You know, it's just one of those things, man. In the game, you really want to hit those shots, but
yeah, sometimes it looked like one of my ranked games.
I believe that was a scientific term, a thunk.
A funk.
What?
Yes, when the Kufra lands on certain targets, it's called a funk.
Team has slain
That's
the
the scientific
turtle.
term, Mirko. Have you learned that in school?
Yeah,
No.
you called it right. You called it right. It just came out.
Yeah.
The words just came to your head, and then you just blurted it out.
Boom, bang, bada bing. Words just come up to my head, man. But again, GX. At this point of the game, it seems like they are just gonna get completely outscaled. They haven't been able to capitalize on the fact that they have early game heroes.
Interestingly enough, in the game scramble and in ours with the words, it seems like Cade got a free turtle. It went straight to King, and now they're changing their targeting. Down to the bottom lane they go. It's going to be a lot like how Onyx played the first series. It's slow, it's calculated, and they're just taking it one step at a time.
Yeah, very much like Onyx. They playing this perfectly. Cade, just amazing macro plays to the bottom side to secure that turret. And that's the thing about Cade. They've been able to get every single objective without forcing a fight. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Just like Onyx PH and Onyx ID.
Yeah, right now, actually looking at Cade. Oh, the tag is going through.
Look at that. It's going to be King jumping all the way to the backside. His is going to be the target. Very good target protection. Louis jumps in with the Chaos and will be able to pick up that kill. Yato pops the black shoes, but it's not going to be enough to get away. Dante, he tries to run away, but a 4-4-0 for the Brazilian runners-up, Cade.
Right now, Darude, the only one standing up, and Cade, again, this is the thing. in terms of skill, they have a lot of damage. Sure, you have Estes, you can heal everyone. But again, there's a lot of damage per second over here.
That is insane, man. The way Cade played that was really well played, man.
Yep.
Firstly, they set it up onto the
team's
side
turret
lanes,
has
then
been
they forced a
destroyed.
jungle engage.
It was so deliberate because it was so honest how Luis came in. Look, he didn't even have his flicker out. He was so slowly walking up, down from the southeast of the map, and then straight into that team fight. The Brazilian Heartbreaker didn't even need to use the Ruby DD play, as we call it. He just went up, all right, order, and then darkness, pow, pow, pow. That's essentially how that played out. He got 3 free kills off that.
That was literally accurate.
Yeah, right now, Cade, again, based on the draft, they're actually having a very good time because this is one of those drafts where you can just sit down, chill, relax, because technically they've already won their win condition. So there's not much, like even if Cade gets outplayed, they still have a lot of situation where they can just still come back from any kind of outplay that GX Squad could potentially make
Red
it.
team
Yeah,
turret has been
they went for a
destroyed.
death push in that top side when the Lord was up, and okay, they will be able to get a turret, but I think that was just really misplaced. At least they are getting some objectives on the board, though.
Red
Maybe
team
even
has
2
slain
turrets
the
here,
Lord.
as they've committed fully onto this. Might this be a mistake? Takashi goes in for the falling someone able to connect on a 3 right now, and that's going to be the follow-up. But look at that, the Tempest of Blades and the Tyrant's Revenge will be able to catch onto Daru and Dante. He's still running away, but not for long. It's going to be Prime picking up the double.
Right now, Cade, just now, you gotta admit, that was a very clean team fight. And again, a big mistake coming in from GX Squad because they have to remember that on the side of Cade, they do have a Ling. And Ling can fly, he can jump on the walls.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally,
He's a
he can
da-
fly.
He can fly. He's a dash wall boy. He can get up to wherever you're trying to push. And that was, again, such a misplay. 1 to 11. But honestly, in this kind of situation, they kind of had to make that desperate play.
I guess what you're trying to say, Lafel, is 2 wrongs don't make a right. Because already, as Mirko set up, they tried to go put a death bush up in that upper left corner of the map while Lord was up. Clearly, they had no vision of where Cade was. So yeah, that's one mistake already.
Blue team
But to
turret has
force
been
that tier 2
destroyed.
fight, when you clearly
Yeah.
saw Tekash trying to bait them out with that 3 or 4 man Falling Star Moon, it fell apart as soon as they decided that this is where we're going to go.
Well, Mikey is going to go for the engage, is completely going to whiff that right there under the base, but it is going to be the Falling Star Moon. Tekashi with a 3-man, and now the follow-up comes in from Cade to take the turrets under there. It is going to be the bottom side falling first. Luis just does so much with the help of that sniper from Prime, but Cade now just backing away, knowing that they don't want to get too crazy with these fights. But yeah, honestly, GX, they just made a beeline for that turret in the top side.
Yeah, this is, again, a situation with Cade. They don't have to force it, but it looks like they're going on Yato.
Yeah, it's going to be Yato focused down. Black Shoes will be able to get him out of there, but look at the damage coming in from Louise and King. He goes over to Temple of Blaze, able to deal some damage right now, but Dante goes for the 1v5, instantly just taken down, and that is going to be Cade picking up a 2-for-0 inside of GX's base. It is still defendable, but for how long? Is it inevitable at this point?
Yeah, again, this is a situation where Cade don't have to force it, but it looks like they're being relentless. They're like, we're going in again.
Yeah, they're going to go in again. I'm afraid it connects on the 3, but does it really matter when you have no damage? It's going to be the bombardment from Cade to take these GX Squad down, but maybe not yet.
Nope, the bombardment's gonna do it
Okay.
as Prime just barrels down on the base. Bom dia to everyone watching from lovely Brazil. Cade takes game number 1, and I'm thinking of how GX will recover. What does GX do from this point? Because there was very little give.
I mean, to be fair, in this game, Cade, they outdrafted, and then it just came to a point where Cade just played the map a little bit better. They farmed a little bit faster, so they were in basically a massage chair where they can take their time, and then if they feel like it, then they can just go ahead and engage. In fact, in the last push, they're like, okay, we're gonna back up, and it's like, do we have to? I feel like we can do this again. And then they kept on doing it, and again, and again, and again. They did not let GX Squad breathe.
Yep, fair to say there were a couple of windows for GX to punish, and we saw it once. There was one death. There were maybe 2 moments where the team fights could have gone their way, but yeah, it was Cade's game to lose.
That was, honestly, from GX Squad, right? The thing is, they had the draft, but they did not execute what that draft was meant to do. They had the S-Test. They roamed with it. Okay, that one is okay, but everything else, they want. I thought for sure they would play for the Kaja lane. You know, get some damage onto that side, get some pressure. But in the end, it just all the cards that they set up, it fell flat.
Mind you, Amuni had to switch it up. It's Amuni in the gold lane this time around. It only made sense to me as the match went on. Like, hey, that's not their usual gold laner up there. They switched roles, and this might have been their first salvo of surprises. They wanted to switch up the roles to try and throw Cade off, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Well, Gideon and Wolf, tell us what you think about the game.
Thanks, boys. I mean, obviously, great game coming in from Cade here. Overall, strong way of pushing their leads and most importantly, playing for their item power spike.